spin up again, and that is exactly what's happened a lot of times when these cells, they start spinning, then they'll do what's called recycling, as in they'll pulse up, get pretty strong, potentially drop something, and then kind of lift back up and get kind of weak once again. That's essentially what is going on right here as we get the new radar scan. I will say, if you're going into the community of the Phoenix area, this is right there along Route 40. At the very least, you've at least got some pretty impressive wind to deal with as this is getting ready to cross over Route 40. So if you are in the Phoenix vicinity, if you're in Rough Creek, if you're in Madisonville, you probably need to be in your safe place right now. This is not the greatest signature that we've ever seen. However, this is a pretty, at least a signature that is concerning enough for the Weather Service to continue, or not continue. They technically dropped it, but then they reissued it of that tornado warning. Again, tornado warning going until 10:15 for Charlotte County. This does include places like Phoenix, and that would be the next town up in line. You see that big red splotch there, that the brighter red color there. Just north of the Harrisburg area. That is at the very least some very, very potent wind, and that wind is going to lift up to the north there around the Phoenix vicinity here probably over the next 5 to 10 minutes if it hasn't already done so. And again, this is lifting up towards the north right there around Route 40. So these include places like Red House Road, Phoenix Elementary School. You just saw it briefly pop up there right around Bethel Church. I'm going to take the storm track off just a minute, and you can tell as these roads, there's a lot more roads that pop up the closer in that we get on this, and that's because it's getting into a more populated area, or at least into a more town-driven area, and that's right there around Phoenix. Just south of Phoenix is where at the very least we have that very heavy wind, that very gusty wind, and that is going to be lifting on up towards the north here, roughly at about 15 miles an hour. It's going to cross Highway 40 within the next few minutes. With more of that, here's George.
All right, thanks a lot, Will. We'll get you back to this coverage here. If you're watching us here at home, we are switching over our microphones here, and we'll get the microphone back on. We'll continue our live coverage. So what we're doing was just telling Mark Spain is that we're going to continue with live coverage until 10:15. If the National Weather Service issues a tornado warning, then we'll be on later than 10:15. Tornado warning has been reissued for this storm, as Will was just telling you. This is for the storm, which is in Charlotte County. This is making its way toward the community of Phoenix, or actually the town of Phoenix. If you live in Phoenix, it's tornado safety time for you. Get into your place of tornado shelter in case a tornado does develop from the storm. What you see here on the radar, where this red and green are coming together, it's rotating pretty strongly up at cloud level. Just got a radar scan in. So we'll pull a storm track on this. I know you were doing one of those earlier. So this is lifting to the north. Actually looks like it's moving a little bit faster than it was earlier, 15 to maybe now 20 miles an hour as it pushes to the north. This warning is in effect until 10:15. So once the cell moves out of Phoenix, it's going to be moving toward the Rough Creek community, which you can see right through here. And here are some of the smaller communities and churches, which this will be near. If you live near the White Oak Grove Church, 10:05 for you. The small Madisonville community, we are looking at 10:14 when the cell is going to be near you. So this is, and we'll just confirm that the cell is moving a little quicker. It's now moving at 20 miles an hour. So this one's actually moving faster, and we can run. But right through here, if you live in Phoenix, get into your place of tornado shelter. This means the goal is to have as many walls between you and the outside as possible. If there is a tornado, I don't think you're going to be able to see it because it is raining so heavily. If you do live, we'd mentioned the Aspen community earlier. If you do live in the Aspen community, you're going to be good. This is passing just to your east, but right through here and including the town of Phoenix, that is where we are seeing this tornado, possible tornado, as this cell continues to lift its way to the north. This is going to stay west of Charlotte Courthouse. So Charlotte Courthouse is right here, and also Keysville is right on the edge of your screen. This is going to be staying well to the west of Keysville, and it's not going to be impacting you. But this possible tornado right now is getting, in fact, it is along Highway 40 in Phoenix. Will, could you zoom in on the radar into Phoenix so that we can get some of the local roads, some of the local streets to show up? Phoenix Elementary, goodness, I spoke there earlier in the year. It's Weather Talk in Phoenix. You need to be in your place of tornado shelter if you do live near Phoenix Elementary School. Let's say if you live within 2 miles of the school, tornado safety time for you, get away from the glass, get into a basement. If you have a basement, that is the number one, that is the best place you can be in case this storm is producing a tornado. Where you see this red and green coming together, that is a swirl up at cloud level. So this is currently now moving over the town of Phoenix, including State Highway 40, which runs through here. This will continue lifting north across Phoenix, and in the next radar scan, which comes out, we should be seeing some of this red, then crossing Route 40. Up in the production booth, could y'all switch our weather sources? Because I want to give you some info here on some safe places that you could be in tornadoes. So if you do live in a multi-story home, a 2-story house, get into the bottom floor or a basement. The basement is the number one best place that you can be. You want to be away from the windows, the glass for obvious reasons, and you want to, if you have, say, a helmet, like a football helmet or a bicycling helmet, that is something that you can put on your head and you can follow our coverage. Blankets and pillows are a good idea as well. Center part of your house that you can be in the lowest floor and away from the glass. So Will, thank you for providing that info. Back to the radar view here. Yeah, this is definitely worthy of a tornado warning. It is certainly rotating quite strongly up at cloud level. Be in your place of tornado shelter in Phoenix in case the cell is producing a tornado. It's at least capable of wind damage blowing out from the storm. And the storm has already produced some wind damage when it was crossing Halifax County. There was already some wind damage that's been reported out of this. This will continue lifting its way to the north. Also, I'm going to see, while Will is working on some notes, I'm going to move the radar around. Okay. Will's going to go do something else for a minute, and I'm going to run the radar here for you. And also, I'm going to switch the map here so that's a little bit easier to see where the warnings are issued. But if you're just joining us here, we have a storm with a tornado warning on it. The tornado warning is for a cell which is north of Brookneal, Lynchburg, Bedford, Roanoke, Pennsylvania County. We don't have anything to worry about, but this is for our viewers in Charlotte County, right through here. Storm with the tornado warning on it is located near Phoenix. This storm has already produced some wind damage in Halifax County, and this is now pushing its way across the town of Phoenix, and shortly this will be making its way north of the town of Phoenix. In fact, the latest radar scan coming in, you can see some of this red is crossing the highway. If there is a tornado with this storm, it's going to be located in here, near the town of Phoenix, and also pushing just north of the town. If you live in Rough Creek, you need to be in your place of tornado shelter in case a tornado does develop from this storm. In Cullen, I know we have a good number of viewers in the Cullen area. Even though you're technically in the tornado warning, you're good. You're safe. As part of the storm is staying to your west, to your left. The cell has also made its way across the Harrisburg area. Say if you do live near Harrisburg, you're okay to come out of your place of tornado shelter. I'm also going to do a quick look around here. And some of you, maybe if you're just turning on your television, I'm George Flickinger along with meteorologist Will Stafford, and we are providing you continuous severe weather coverage as we have now had 2 tornado warnings in our area for tonight. Unfortunately, I think we're going to see a bunch more as we move into Friday. Friday is when the center of Hurricane Helene makes its way into Virginia. And I do anticipate that we're going to have a good number of warnings when that does occur. We have 3 warnings which are in effect. Let me zoom out. So, Will, I'm saving this into our palette so that the warning shows up over the data. Let me take you back out. So we have this. Okay. Yeah, I was just checking to see what other warnings we had. So, and put you back in the regular radar mode here. So, tornado warning continues until 10:15 for Charlotte County. As part of the storm with this possible tornado is located near Phoenix. It's lifting to the north. There's a strong core of this storm. It's at least going to be producing some strong wind as it does lift to the north. We're eventually going to see this moving toward the Red House community. Red House, and there's Red House Road, that is located south of Appomattox and kind of near the Charlotte County line, the Campbell County line, the Appomattox County line. That's where Red House is located. If you are in Red House, I do recommend getting into your place of tornado shelter in case a tornado does end up developing out of this cell as it lifts to the north. Certainly rotating up at cloud level. Let me put this back into the regular radar mode here, and it's not a very swift mover. Just had a radar scan come across. Right here, this area I'm circling, this is where the possible tornado would be located. It's rotating at cloud level from Phoenix to Rough Creek, which is, of course, just north of Phoenix. So this is near Phoenix Elementary. And this is along, of course, Red House Road, which eventually runs to the community of Red House. I do recommend being in your place of tornado shelter in case a tornado does end up developing out of this. It is certainly tornado safety time for you because at least at cloud level, we're seeing a significant amount of rotation right now in Phoenix, and this is making its way toward Rough Creek. I'm going to pull another storm track on this cell as it lifts to the north. Let me set the algorithms up here. Set this up, and it's moving in this direction. All right, so Phoenix Elementary School, yeah, it's on top of you if there is a tornado with this storm. The Rough Creek community, it is going to be near you in the next 5 minutes. If you live in Rough Creek, it is tornado safety time for you. Get into your place of tornado shelter. And also White Oak Grove Church and the Mount Zion Church, so we're getting really close to Red House. Be in your place of tornado safety in case a tornado does end up developing out of this storm. Let me reset the view for all of our viewers. So the time is now 9:59. So we are going to be on live for at least the next 15 minutes while we have this storm with the tornado warning. Right now, we have one storm remaining with the tornado warning. We've already had we've had 3 total warnings that have been issued in our area for the National Weather Service. This is not going to impact Lynchburg, but this could actually end up impacting some of our viewers in Appomattox County as this cell lifts to the north. As this is going to be right along basically the Prince Edward and Appomattox County line, and this will move toward Appomattox and Evergreen. The one cell which we had earlier, which did have the tornado warning on it, it does not have a tornado warning on it at the moment. I can just tell by looking at this, this does not look like a tornadic cell at all. This is good news for, say, Bent Creek and Gladstone. I mean, we're right on the edge of the radar range, but I'm not seeing anything that looks tornadic out of this for either Bent Creek or Gladstone. That is good news. Heavy rain, yes. Lightning, yes. Some wind gust, yes. But I'm not seeing anything rotating for you. That is, I would consider that to be a win. The storm with the tornado warning on it continues in Charlotte County. And this includes the Phoenix community, which we've highlighted. Still need to be in your place of tornado shelter as this slowly moves out of Phoenix and toward Rough Creek. I'm going to redraw where this main area of rotation is located. It's now going to be right in here. Okay, thank you. So this part of the storm is getting a message from Will. So this part of the storm here is located just north of Phoenix. If you need, again, you need to be in your place of tornado shelter if you are in Rough Creek in case there is a tornado out of this storm. Conditions will be shortly improving for those of you in Phoenix, but I do recommend staying in your place of tornado shelter in Phoenix in case a tornado does develop. But this is basically moving right up the county road. You can see that cell right through here that we're watching. If you live in Red House, get into your place of tornado shelter in case a tornado does develop. Lynchburg, nothing we need to worry about, but we have rain and thunderstorms. Bedford County, rain and thunderstorms, and also into Roanoke as well as Blacksburg. All of this rain, all of this activity is lifting to the north. So let me check here, see if we have any new info. Okay. So Will says we do not have any new info from the National Weather Service. That is good news. So we have not had any reports of any storm damage out of this. Good news. So we have not had a report of a tornado on the ground. That is good news. We will continue with our live coverage here until 10:15 for the duration of this tornado warning for our viewers in Charlotte County as this cell makes its way toward Red House and eventually possibly also back into Appomattox County. Right now, I'm going to zoom you, excuse me here, Will, I'm going to zoom you back in. And could y'all in the production booth, could y'all switch over to Max 2? Right now, or Max 1. Thank y'all, gentlemen. Yeah, if there's a tornado located with this storm near Rough Creek in Phoenix, Will was trying to help me by setting up a computer. Will, my eyes are too old to see that display. He was setting up a different computer monitor for me, but I don't know, you get over 50 years old, you can't see that well, those little computer screens. Let me reset this view here. And so far, we have not had any reports of any wind damage out of this. Let's see, National Weather Service. Okay, National Weather Service is reporting that a separate cell earlier in Pennsylvania County did produce some wind damage. So that is new. That is new info coming in. Did have some reports of wind damage there. All right, so taking you back into Charlotte County, tornado warning continues for the next 10 minutes, and this is now lifting north of the Phoenix community. If there is a tornado, this is now going to be located north of Phoenix, and this is going to be located right here. So in the Phoenix Township, we are going to give you the all clear for you to emerge from your place of tornado shelter. If there's, of course, you still have a storm, but if the tornadic part of the storm exists, it is going to be to your north. In Red House, get into your place of tornado shelter. I will zoom in for a closer look. You can see the Red House community showing up right in here. Let me draw this in. So say the center of downtown Red House. It's going to be right in here where the county lines come together. This is going to become very close to you, likely passing just to your east, but certainly close enough to where you need to be paying attention to this storm. This is also going to be passing near State Highway 47 in northern Charlotte County as well. So let's look ahead. So I'm going to pull a storm track. Oh, Will's already done that. Production, let's go over to our other weather computer right now. And we're going to be looking at a storm track that Will put together for us on where this storm is headed. So Pamplin, this storm, 10:46. That is 40 minutes away. We'll see this storm near Pamplin. Hicksburg, just after 11 o'clock. And as you can see, it's going to take a long time before this particular cell be reaching into Appomattox, so we would have plenty of time to warn you if this storm does indeed have a tornado with it. All right, let's go back to the other weather computer source here. Thank you all, gentlemen, and I'm going to reset the map. And we're going to reset this for a good chunk of our viewers. So I'm George Flickinger along with Will Stafford. We are having continuous tornado warning coverage as we've had 3 tornado warnings issued in our area tonight for parts of Halifax, Charlotte, and now Appomattox counties. We have not had any reports of an actual tornado touching down, but sometimes these reports are delayed, particularly when they're in a fairly low populated area and at night. I will take this as some good news as far as the town of Appomattox, where we did have the storms earlier. We've not had any reports of any tornado damage so far in Appomattox, so that would definitely be some good news. If you're in Appomattox, we're still watching that cell to your south, which is making its way toward Red House. If you live in Red House, it is tornado safety time for you in case a tornado does end up developing out of this. As I'm looking at the storm, and we'll take a look at the velocity, it's pretty hard to almost gauge the wind on these cells because these are right on the edge of our radar coverage area, the National Weather Service radars, which we're using. But if there is a tornado, zoom in for a closer look, it is going to be on top of Rough Creek. As I'm looking at this, I don't see a screaming Captain Obvious, oh yeah, that's definitely a tornado, but up at cloud level, it's definitely rotating. This is going to pass near and just west of the community of Madisonville. Red House, be ready. I would recommend going ahead and getting into your place of tornado shelter if you're in Red House. Also, part of, Red House Road. If you live near Red House Road, between Red House and Rough Creek, it is time for you to be in your place of tornado shelter. This is going to stay east of Hat Creek, and that's getting over into Appomattox County. The Wren community that is going to stay to the east of you. This cell here is basically lifting straight to the north. It doesn't look quite as impressive as it did earlier. In fact, you can see, and I'll clear that blue circle off. You can see when the cell was over Phoenix that it did have some stronger rotation with it, but at the moment the cell is not looking near as impressive as it did earlier, so that is good news. So let's take a look elsewhere, and I'm going to guess that when we do get to 10:15 that the National Weather Service is going to end up canceling this tornado warning unless this decides to flare up. And I think the farther north it moves, the less it's even going to have that ability to do so. I think the National Weather Service is going to drop that warning coming up at 10:15. So our production staff, master control, I'm thinking that we are going to go back to regular programming at 10:15 to 10:16. Nothing to worry about in Lynchburg. Bedford looks good. Roanoke also looks good. No problems into Pittsylvania County right now. There are some thunderstorms. Yes, Smith Mountain Lake, I know you're hearing thunder. You're still hearing thunder, I know, in Bedford, Evington, Huddleston. The one cell has a tornado warning on it, but as this continues to lift to the north, it is looking less impressive. If you live in the community of Phoenix, the town of Phoenix, we are giving you the all clear to come out of your tornado shelter. It is safe for you, even though technically you're under the tornado warning, it is safe for you to emerge from your tornado safety spot. We are not seeing a tornado from the cell right now, and if there is, it is going to be staying to the north of your community, which is good news. See, just got some info here, and thank you, Will. So Will's pointing out that there's another area we actually need to watch over toward Pittsylvania County. Just to be clear, there are no warnings with this, but this is near the Callens community. And along State Highway 57, there is a broad area of rotation. We will need to watch this as this does lift to the north, as this is going to be making its way into Pennsylvania County. Let me draw an arrow. So this will be eventually pass near and east of Pinhook, right through here. This will stay west of Dry Fork and west of Chatham, but that is an area where there at least is some rotation with it. And see, the National Weather Service, we're hearing from the National Weather Service, they have said that they are actually probably, see this area right here? Just 2 minutes ago, I was telling you that the cell was weakening. It looks like that it is now re-strengthening again of a cloud level. So the National Weather Service is likely going to reissue another tornado warning for this storm. And this one would end up including a part of Appomattox County. So that will be coming shortly. It is looking, just based on what we're seeing here on the radar, that would be worthy of the National Weather Service issuing a tornado warning. So let me clear this off. If you live in Red House, you need to be in your place of tornado shelter. If you live near White Oak Grove Church, there's also Rolling Hill Road. Don't know if y'all can hear this at home, but the range is really picked up here at the television station. But there's nothing that we need to be concerned about here in Lynchburg. But tornado warning continues for Charlotte County. This is now moving away from Phoenix, so you're good to come out of your place of tornado shelter in Phoenix. And also, if you are in Rough Creek, we're going to give you the all clear to come out, because the part of the cell that is rotating is moving to your north. Right in here, this area I've circled, this is near the Red House community. Just got a new radar scan coming in. This is where we are seeing the rotation up at cloud level. From time to time, it does look stronger, but that is where we are seeing the rotating part of this storm. So in Red House, lowest part of your house, a basement would be a fantastic idea for you. In fact, if you wanted to in Red House, you could go into your closet and you could turn up your TV. You can also watch us on WSET.com. Our coverage is live and streaming there on WSET.com, so that you would be able to watch us as well. So you could basically, on your phone, you could take us with you into your place of tornado shelter, and we will keep you updated on the progress of this storm. Let me reset and take a look at our entire area. Okay, thank you for that, Will. So it does appear that the National Weather Service is going to issue another tornado warning, and this will be for the cell, which is located in Charlotte County. So what we're going to do here, and actually if y'all are watching at home, you may hear some rustling. I'm going to change my microphone here for a little bit, so hang on here for just a second.